Alright, so my weekly update, I'm doing this on Monday now instead of Sunday. The Sunday just was not working out, so I was doing it mainly on Monday anyway, so I figured I'll just make it official. So Monday is when I'm doing these now. This last week, a little bit of cross training, took it kind of easy because I ran for 24 hours on a treadmill. Um, yeah, that is just about as exciting as it sounds. Um, hadn't run on one in a while, a couple of years. Ran on one the week before. Did 16 miles on one, and yeah, did 24 hours. It was a fundraiser for Action Community Church. They have a group going to Haiti. They needed some money for the cost of what they're doing out there, so everyone going on the trip, when I take it, has fundraised to get over there, and they need money for supplies for what they're doing. They're building a school and like a trade school, I believe, and an orphanage, and I believe it was the school feeds 1,000 kids a day, so very worthwhile cause. So they needed $5,000 for materials and everything. So I talked to Jason, who's the pastor over at Action Community Church. Told him, hey, I think I could possibly get you guys some of that money and help you out a little bit. So talked to my boss, Aaron, over at Fleet Feet. Uh, Boss, the manager owner. Known Aaron for a long time. Really cool guy. Him and his wife Andrea are some of the most gracious, giving people that I know. As soon as I mentioned to him what I wanted to do, he was on board. Asked me when I wanted to do it. What help I needed. So yeah, we basically set up a couple treadmills in the store, and we did it during a packet pickup for our St. Patrick's Day run. So we had a lot of people coming in who saw what I was doing, and just a lot of people in the Fresno Clovis area and Madera who run came by. We raffled off a pair of New Balance and On running shoes, along with my friend Sunny, who's been in some of my videos, who I train with. She has a jewelry and clothing website that she does called indoorshop.com. So she donated a necklace that we also had for our raffle, and yeah, it was very successful. I thought that we'd get somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000. We ended up getting just over $3,000 in donations. So very happy with what we did. And I'm gonna put a link again if you want to donate online off the church's website in the description of this video. See if we could kind of get them a little bit more money here. But yeah, so right now on the treadmill was very interesting. Yeah, I did the first 50 miles in about like 10 and a half hours, something like that. Hit mile 60 around, I think, 12 hours, which is what I was kind of shooting for. I really wanted to run 110 miles. I just kind of set that as a goal for myself. That didn't happen. At mile 85, I started getting just, my feet were tired. The longest run I did, I believe, was like 20 something miles. Alicia and I went out one weekend. I don't remember if it was a week before or two. The weeks have kind of been blurring together lately. There's just been a lot going on at work and trying to train and everything. But so yeah, I only got like a 20-mile run. Training run in as my longest one, along with that 16 miler. They were both pretty close to each other. I think I did the 16 miler on the treadmill. Then that was like on a Tuesday, I believe. And then I think on Saturday or Sunday we did it was the next Saturday that we did the 20 miler late at night. But yeah, it was nice being in a spot where people could come and talk and visit with me. We had two treadmills set up. At the beginning, I was kind of bouncing from one to the other. Sometimes people would come in, run on the treadmill that was not being used, and that was kind of fun having someone to kind of run with and talk to. And people came in and out throughout the whole 24 hours and ran with me and talked, and just kind of had some friends who I haven't seen in a while come by and donate money and kind of hang out. And it was a really cool experience. I feel very lucky to be able to do something like that. Working at a running specialty shop, I meet a lot of people every week who are just starting to run, or people who are coming back from injuries and haven't ran for maybe a month, maybe a few years, maybe longer, and they're just starting to get into running. So, running is something that I don't take as much for granted anymore. I know I've had a few setbacks here and there with a couple stress fractures. Right now my Achilles tendon has been bothering me. It wasn't too bad during the run. It's feeling okay right now, but it's something that I'm very, right now, kind of cautious about. And I have some big plans for the couple races I'm doing this year, and I really want to run those well, so I am being as proactive as I can about taking care of the issue that I have right now. So, but yeah, I know I kind of have accomplished the whole run on the treadmill thing without all my friends and local running community that we have here. And just family that came out and friends, and it was really cool. Alicia was there a lot of the time. Some friends who I haven't ran with in a while came out and ran. Mo came out. She brought me a couple cans of Dr. Pepper. That was really cool. If I went and listed everyone who came out and helped, this would be like a 2-hour video, and I would still forget people. But it was really cool seeing how people came out and were interested in what I was doing and what I was doing it for. In the back of my head, I had a goal, a mileage goal that I wanted to hit, but it really didn't matter if I hit it or not. The point of what I was doing was to raise money. So, I think as a runner, someone who's, I don't want to say I'm too competitive, because it's not like I'm like winning races or anything. I've been lucky to get maybe top 3 a couple times here and there. But other than that, I mean, I'm not showing up at races and people aren't like, oh, that guy's here. So for me, it's always about kind of pushing myself and seeing what I could do. Trying to maybe run a personal best time on a course that I've ran before, or just, sometimes just going out and having fun on the trail. That's, I think, one of the most important things to remember, is why I started trail running, especially. But yeah, I mean, something like what I did was not a solo effort. All the friends that I've ran with over the years have, got me where I am. Alicia lately has just been like huge with everything. There's days that I don't want to work out, and she does, and I don't want to say no. And I know I usually need to work out, like tonight, and it's just it's cool having that support there, and someone who understands, like, mentally kind of what I go through, especially when I don't run. But yeah, I don't know. Will I do a treadmill run like that again next year? I'd like to say no, but we raised a lot of money, so the chances of us doing it again are, I think, more likely than not. I have to figure out how to train for that, though, because it was very awkward running on a treadmill for that long. I couldn't really hit like a natural stride. I was running like 3/4 of a mile, and then I would walk a 1/4 mile. I did that for the first, like, I think 50 miles, and then I feel like I just wasn't hitting a good stride. So from mile 50 to 85, I actually would walk a 1/4 mile, then I would run a 1/4 mile. So I think I was setting the pace to something like 4 miles an hour. It's like a 15-minute mile. I was walking that, which is not too bad. It's a decent pace. And then I would run a 1/4 mile at an 8-minute 30-second mile pace. I forgot what that ended up being. Like if it was 7 miles an hour or like 6.7, or it was somewhere around there. I don't remember right now. But so I basically did the 400-meter repeats for 35 miles, I guess, mile 50 to 85. Yeah, then the last 15 were, man, those were horrible. I just kind of walked a lot. I couldn't walk that well on the treadmill because I couldn't really dial in the speed too well. But yeah, so that's what went on this week. Not too sure what's going on in the next week here. Sunny needs to go for a 20-mile run, so I told her I would more than likely do that with her. this Thursday, so I'm feeling pretty recovered from running on the treadmill. Um, Alicia has been great. She's been rolling my legs out for me when we've been able to hang out, and keeps me accountable. Make sure that I see my Achilles tendon every night, and just reminds me to do what I need to do and not be stupid. So, and yeah, but I'm excited to run a 50K on the trail, especially after running for 24 hours on the treadmill. I can't wait to get out on the trail the end of this month and run a regular race. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Still kind of trying to process the whole running that long kind of in place. I don't know, usually after something like that, especially after an ultra, after running that far, something I talk to some of my friends about, especially some of them who run. Sometimes I get a little like depressed afterwards. I think you spend so much time and energy training for an event, and then felt it hit me a little bit when I was done. Not very hard, but you kind of put yourself through a lot for 24 hours straight, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and then then you just stop. It's kind of sometimes hard to process. You're pushing and pushing. You want to stop, but you know that you can't or you shouldn't. There's no real reason to. You're just tired, and you keep going and going. Then you get to that point where you're actually done, and then sometimes it's like, well, where do I go from here? And a lot of times you just sign up for a race. At least that's what I used to tend to do. But yeah, so I don't know. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to being out and around the trail, and just kind of taking some of April off, I think, to fully recover. I really want to run the Dirty Dozen well this year. Not that I feel like I've, other than one year, ran it poorly. I kind of have big goals for Dirty Dozen and for Headlands 100 this year. And I really want to make sure that I go about doing it the correct way and training right. And to train the way that I know that I need to train for those races, I'm going to have to really come up with a plan to not get injured with the amount of speed work and mileage that I want to put in, that I know that I need to put in. So yeah, that's going to be probably my goal this week, is to sit down and kind of really figure out what I'm going to do. And I know I said every week work on my blog. Man, I am very far behind, so I need to start writing again. I think last night I was going to start, and man, I just wasn't motivated to do it for whatever reason. I think it's just because I haven't done it in a while. And once I sit down, I always have my blog done for the San Joaquin River 100K, which I did back in like November, and apparently I didn't save it, so I know that I was like 3/4 of the way done. Logged on the other day. I was like, cool, I'm just gonna wrap it up, proofread a little bit of it, and yeah, there was like nothing on there. It was like one paragraph, and so I guess I didn't save it when I closed out the last time, and it just saved where I had left off the time before that. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but oh well, no, can't do anything about it. So whatever. I'll just go over it again. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to write this week. Might not even be about anything specific. I might just kind of write and kind of see, get back into that groove of putting something out there. Then, but I really need to get San Joaquin River 100K blog, the Rodeo Beach 50K that we did back in December, and then we did the San Joaquin River half marathon back in February, February. I don't even remember anymore. Everything's just been kind of jumbled together. So, yeah, that's it for tonight. See you guys next week.